Hi everyone, I'm Piero, co-creator of Maverick, and today I want to give you a brief walkthrough of how Maverick works from beginning to end, and showcase how what are the principles, what are the basics behind Maverick, how we thought about it. So we have here a small presentation to start from, just a couple of minutes, but basically Maverick is an operating space where AI agents can share context, work on isolated spaces, use different applications, and solve the main problems that come from fragmentation of files, processes, applications. At the same time, the problem of delegating all operations as much as possible to AI agents. So having a shared context helps them understand what to do based on what we want them to do. So as first principle, we want to talk about indeed as the first concept to understand Maverick. We can think of it as the iPhone analogy. So we have the core, which represents the basis on which everything is built on top. The core is something that wraps the AI agent underneath, which can be Codex, Cloud Code, whatever, or open source AI the provider that you want to have, and it basically gives it a surface to which it can communicate with the applications. Okay, those applications can be created by you or can be installed from anywhere. They just have a common contract, something that agents know easily how to use. And so basically you can use applications to give them new powers, interfaces, whatever you need. Applications are full applications based on a front end and a back end. So you can basically build whatever you want. They also, the contract requires you to expose CLI, MCPs, and surfaces, view surfaces that agents can use to use applications in real time so you can see what they're doing. And the other basic concept is the workspace. The workspaces are isolated spaces inside the server. So you install Maverick, you divide in different workspaces depending on the kind of access you want to give. This is all integrated into the core, permissions, granulation, everything is inside. So you can define who is going to be able to use different kind of applications or access certain kind of data. So in this sense, the context is eventually shared inside the workspace from all agents. So they can work on that data, on that applications to pursue a defined objective. The provider, as I was saying before, is up to you to decide what you want to use. If you want to use Codex, we initially implemented Codex, but soon you will see also Cloud Code and any other provider which can come from an API key or something you want to install on your machine, like Quen or Gemma and so on. So yeah, this is basically the initial presentation. We are already inside Maverick. Let's go first on what you're gonna see initially once you install it. Okay, so once you have installed Maverick on your machine through the terminal, you've set your you've set your credentials, you've set your database and everything. You are inside. The first thing, Maverick will ask you which kind of AI you want to use, which provider. So in this case, we only have Codex here, but you will see all the other listings here, and you decide the provider. Once you activate the provider, you will find yourself in this situation where you can start to work on anything. This is just to give the basics. Any interface is an application. So here we have already an application, which is the app chat, which is made of, every app can be made of two pieces. One is the main interface, okay, the main application, and then the other thing is are the widgets. Widgets, kind of like the iPhone, are things that you can reuse, but not just on the home screen like an iPhone, but also in other applications. So for example, in the case of the chat, you can see it immediately if I change application. If I go to the menu and change, for example, and go to the gallery, I can see here that a new chat opens up. So this is a widget, okay? This is a widget. And this widget indeed is integrated in the base shell. The base shell is also an application that you can change as you want. You can change anything. And the widget exposes the chat functionality outside of the chat application. Okay, so giving you this context, you can use the chat to build whatever you want. One of the things that I really like is working with multiple chats at the same time. So I just press plus here and I can open different chats to work on different things, different applications, or request different usage of applications. So to better understand first the concept of workspace, let me introduce 1 second the concept of workspace. So workspaces, again, are places where files, applications are shared. So make the context of the AI agents that are going to work in that workspace. And you can basically create a new workspace by just pressing the plus here and defining a name for the new workspace. So it can be test workspace. Okay, once you create a new workspace, okay, we are inside the test workspace. So once you are inside the workspace, as you see now, we have no more files, we have no more chats, everything is new, and we have to start from scratch. So we've defined the provider, and now we're able to do whatever we want in here. Everything is isolated. So any other person in the that has access to Maverick will be related only to that workspace, won't see other things. So let me get back to the default one. The default one has a little difference with respect to all the others. While the others are sandboxed inside that workspace, the default allows access to the full server. So this is for basically admin use, very careful use, but it allows to play with anything inside the server, really anything. So play with caution. And here, let me introduce one other application is, for example, the user administration. The user administration allows to define all the users, the permissions, which workspaces they can access, each single user, and for each workspace, what kind of applications can be used can be installed in the different workspaces. So yeah, let's start with understanding how agents can use Maverick. So as we were saying initially, the AI agents share the context of applications and all their functionalities plus all the files. So we can use either applications that are done from us that we already ship together with the repo in Maverick, or you can build your own applications, or indeed there is an app store where you can publish your applications. The app store can be confined to your company, to your, let's say, team, so that you can publish them there and everything is absolutely closed inside your company. Now, from the applications you can use can be anything from Gmail, Drive. Those are replicas of those applications that mainly exposes APIs through CLI and MCP, so agents can use them. Now, I wanna make a simple use case of this. Let me show you. So I will go to LinkedIn, and I will go to my profile. And from here, I will just take the link and come here and say, okay, I just met this person. Can you please save and remember more about this guy? Okay, so in this case, Codex will go and look for this person. As we're giving a link, we could also add an image, so they can, for example, a screenshot of that. They can take information about it and eventually make more researches. And we can then, for example, ask to add it to the CRM. So if I found multiple different references to this guy, which is me. He has already some data, of course, because I was our space Maverick. So if we go to the memory is an application that shows you how agents can access all information. So how different informations could be notes, we could be things from other applications like and you see here it has added new things about it is added to the activities, the fact that we met Piero Fioretti, as we were telling him, and all the information is here. So again, agents use all the applications inside as they want with respect to what you ask them to do. So for example, now, given this, we can ask to, okay, can you can you build now, build a CV of this person and email it to lupinotest@gmail.com, which is an email we have. The CV as docx, this person, and we need to use color it in red format. And there we go. So as we see, is starting to pull the information it needs from the CRM, the memory, and everything. So other applications. Okay, so it created the file. It is put in storage, generated. Okay, so it sent the polished version. The preview is here of the file. And if we go here, you can see we got it. And here is the preview of the file, how it's been created. Oh yeah, we can do better, of course. We can iterate on the design as we want. So giving it, before sending it, of course, we can review it from the gallery. We can ask for changes. And once it's ready, boom, we just send it through the chat. So we don't have to touch anymore anything. Okay, so it's going to handle all the operations. And as we've seen, is action all the fragmented data, information about Piero on LinkedIn, the Gmail application on the other side with the data about Piero, and everything is all centered here, and the agents can use everything to produce the documents and send the email, and everything is saved in here. So anytime we want to access the file, we either ask for giving us the link to the file, or we just go to the app gallery and find it all inside Maverick. So just to give you more information about the thing of agents, skills, and everything, there are applications we made for this. Applications in this case are repos of different kind of agents. The skills app is a repo of skills, and you can basically change any agent you may have. You can create any agent you want with just prompts in here. You define the role instructions. There is a common prompt, and you can create new agents by just pressing it, defining the prompt, and defining which skills it can use depending on the applications that are available, and any custom skill you want to import inside Maverick. Okay, so like this, and then you can use all these in custom applications. Okay, that you can create by yourself. Just ask in the chat to create specific applications, and to, for example, in this case, build kind of a workflow fleet of AI agents to perform a certain goal. So in this case, we wanted something to perform specific things with a timer or a manual trigger, like we can have on N8N, and agents will perform it. Now, depending on the kind of agents we're gonna use out of the ones that we have, we're gonna be able to do different things and connect different files. They can work on different MD files, or other. In this case, the file does not exist anymore. So yeah, when we have the file that still exists, we have the preview we can see here too. Okay, so these kind of applications these are kind of applications that work cross app in this case, where you have other applications that push data inside here. So we can have, for example, the application of agents, the one we were seeing before, to pull the catalog of agents. We have the applications for the gallery and Google Drive to pull the files. So we define which one we want to use, and depending on this kind of application, like the Fleet one, will be able to use this data. Otherwise, if you don't pull those, don't plug those in, of course, it is not going to be able to see, for example, data from Google Drive. So you won't be able to mention or create files in Google Drive. That said, I think I give you a full understanding of everything. Just to close up, we have the App Store. The App Store is something that you can build by yourself, but we have an official App Store that you'll be able to see. And here you can manage all the applications, okay? Any kind of applications that either you build or is available to download from indeed the public App Store, the App Store of your company, or indeed the application that are on the server but maybe are not in your workspace. You can define whether you want to install it or not. This depends, of course, on the permissions you have, if you're admin, member, and so on. And you can access any application either by pinning it you pin it, or unpin in this case, and like this one, you can pin and be able to see it here directly, or you can just access it from here. So for example, here we have just to give you an idea, a simple game, and we install it as you've seen. Now I press it, I just have to refresh, and here we are inside the game. So we're able to build really anything, not just not just useful application, but also anything we truly wanna build. So from the App Store, again, you can manage all of them. You can install them. You can request, for example, local applications if you want. You can promote to server applications, so all other workspace can eventually install it depending on permissions, or request public publication, so into the App Store, so that anyone potentially inside the company, also other installations of Maverick, can access and eventually download and install. Or you can delete it if it's a local application. So workspaces work like this. You can have local applications, they're confined in there, and no other workspace will be able ever to see it until you promote it to a server application. Okay, so this was a quick walkthrough of Maverick. You can truly build whatever you want. Anything you've seen built here has been built by our agents. You can also import and create applications for repos that are available on the web. So for example, here we have recreated Open Design. We just pulled the GitHub link, put inside an agent, basically installed and adapted the application to be used inside Maverick. So here we have like Maverick presentation we had before. We can chat directly in here and create, the presentations, videos, landing pages, whatever, by using the skills and everything that comes from already from Open Design. So it's a quick way to also create your own world with any application you want pretty easily, pretty quickly. I hope this was useful for you, and for anything, we're happy to chat with you, get feedback, and eventually if you want to contribute to making Maverick better, please do reach to us or try directly through GitHub. Okay, thank you so much. Have a best day.